It is time that we experience the #1 attraction in all of Jordan, the fabled rose-red city that is half as old as time. In the words of the man who rediscovered it, the Swiss explorer Jean Burckhardt, it is the most elegant remains in antiquity. Welcome to Petra. Our scenic Essence of Egypt and Jordan journey has brought us to what is without a doubt one of the world's most extraordinary sights. And even after a trip of endless highlights, nothing can quite prepare you for Petra. Adding to that is the dramatic positioning of its #1 attraction, the Treasury. A long, narrow gorge opens up to reveal this iconic facade in all of its glory. What's inside?
There is nothing inside. You know, the Nabateans were different than Egyptian, let's say. So Nabateans used to cremate. Then they put the ash in a jar. They bury the jar some way. Then they just carve a memorial, believing that the soul of the dead person will be there and living an eternal life.
You know, in its heyday, the city was home to over 30,000 people. And right at the helm were the Nabateans, a nomadic Arab tribe. Can we just have a reality check? There's a lot of tourists here. Petra is the only place in Jordan with a 0 unemployment rate. All the locals are in on the game. And it was actually the locals who named this place the Treasury. Can you see the urn at the top? They thought that was a pot of gold, and they used to shoot at it thinking if they could just break it open, treasures would flow out. Well, they quickly found out it's solid rock, but you can still see the pockmarks. Up until the 1980s, the local Bedouin people lived here in the caves dotted all over these vast cliff faces.
Petra became like a World Heritage Site. That village was created, and they asked the Bedouins to move from the caves to the village. So nobody lives in the caves anymore.
You are not going to believe this. Before I left home, I was told to read this book, Married to a Bedouin, a New Zealand lady who went camping over here, and she married a local. Well, guess what? That's her there. Salam. Are you really Marguerite?
Marguerite.
I'm reading your book.
Oh, yeah?
I'm reading your book. Before I left, I was told I had to read your book, and then my guide, Louis, said, I know her. She's actually here.
Yeah, I'm here. I've been here a while now.
I'm a little bit starstruck. I can't quite get my head around this.
So I'm Marguerite.
Oh, well, I'm Katrina. Lovely to meet you.
How are you?
So, how did you end up marrying a Bedouin?
Well, I was backpacking here, and so I was wandering aimlessly, and I met Mohammed on the steps of the Treasury, actually. And, yeah, we got married 2 months later.
It is a very fascinating story from a pretty darn amazing woman who now proudly calls Petra home.
It was okay living in the cave. You know, there was one room. My housework was done in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Cool! I would love that. The entire site is packed with archaeological gems, and I think it's fair that I should let you know most do require a little effort to get to. Heavens to Betsy! What is the story?
So, yeah, this is one of the royal tombs carved by the Nabateans. We call it the urn tomb because of the big urn that is located at the top. So making your way up here will enable you to enjoy this lovely view overlooking the valleys of Petra.